Hi, Prairie Rose friends. We are excited to announce that Prairie Rose now has a premium subscription to Diffit.me. Diffit is a great site for creating texts of all kinds, produces quizzes, and then there's tons of export features. I want to give you a quick tour so that you can get started. So you can, on this first page, when you go to Diffit.me, you can either put a topic in, you can use an online article or a YouTube video or a video, and then you can actually cut and paste a big section of text or an excerpt from someplace and start with any one of those. So what I've done is one of the great uses is all of our new curriculum, like for science, for example, where there aren't a lot of resources. So I've got the science curriculum up here. Let's look at this waste management topic. I'm just going to highlight and copy that. Come back to Diffit. I'm going to click on the literally anything, and I'm going to click that. It's asking me, is this nonfiction or fiction? It's nonfiction. I'm going to want this at a 4th grade reading level, and I'm going to say generate resources. That's one of the powerful things about Diffit is that it has these really super high quality outputs. All right, so now we have our waste here. The first thing that does is it generates a picture. Now, it doesn't actually generate a picture. It chooses a picture off the internet, so we can pick one that we might want. Let's just take this one. It looks like it has some compost. And so here is all of the items that I typed in, make that a little bit shorter. So here it's given me a reading passage. And so it's taken the content and it's used its sources to generate. I love that it will show its sources. So if I click show sources, it shows me here the different places that it has gotten its sources from. So we can see Wikipedia, good starting spot, some educational institutions, universities are .edu, .org. So those are like city, municipal sites, government sites. So those are quality resources. If I wanted to get rid of one of those, I could edit the sources and it would regenerate without the source that I didn't think was very useful. So now I'm going to turn off hide sources. I can edit if I want, and I can just copy. So anything in Diffit here is editable. But wait, there's more. Come down here, and it has given me a summary. Again, it's editable. I can also customize that a little bit more, and it has vocabulary words at the grade level. So here it's chosen some words, given me a definition, and then a sentence at the appropriate grade level. I can add vocabulary words if I would like. I can type in my own, or I can choose to have it add some more if we want to do that. And again, I can edit any of these as well. Here we go to multiple choice questions. Any AI generated multiple choice questions, I'm always a little bit skeptical of. So same thing goes here. We can add questions at different thinking levels. We can customize. It will show you answers. And so those are already generated for you. You can do any editing. So if I wanted to delete a question, I could add my own short answer questions again with answers. I can edit and then open-ended prompts. So that's what the content that it produces from all of those different sources. We haven't even seen the best part yet. We can change grade levels. So let's say that I have students that are reading at a 2nd grade level, or maybe I'm in 8th grade and I need a 5th grade and a 3rd grade level. I can generate different reading levels for that. You'll notice that it doesn't go much below grade 2 and even grade 3, grade 2. Most AI tools have trouble getting down that low. And so it certainly isn't going to produce like a decodable reader or anything like that, but it will shorten the sentence lengths and give you easier words. So we can also translate into dozens and dozens of languages. If you want, you can also generate in a different language to start as well. So when we think of the students that we have coming from other places or the various reading levels in our classes, now we can give everyone the same content, but at a reading level that's appropriate for them. But if you click Get Student Activities up here, there are so many great things here. I really want to show you Google Forms quiz. So if we click Get Activity, after we click Google Forms, it is going to generate a Google Forms quiz for us. I can choose if I want all the questions, some of the questions. Do I want it to include the passage, no passage? Do I want it to include the picture, no picture, vocab? You can see here that I can share directly to Classroom. I can download. I can also put it into a Microsoft Word doc. So here we have it with my picture, the reading, summary, key vocabulary. Now let's say it's like, oh, I don't really want the summary. Just like anything in Google Quiz, we can delete that if I want to get rid of that. We can edit anything inside of this quiz. And look at this part. Here's one of my questions. Now, I did not check these out beforehand, which I always should. Remember the 80-20 rule. But you'll notice here there's an answer key. And so it takes the answer that it has generated. And of course, I should always check those over. There's my short answers. And my open-endeds, I can get rid of any of those, edit any of those that I'd like. Let's go back here and see some of the other formats. So there are summary slides, 3, 2, 1 reading summaries, bubble maps, close, vocabulary, Freyer models, all sorts of vocabulary items, hexagonal thinking, which I know lots of you are using, reading strategies, so close notes, Cornell notes, 5 W's, draw and explain, writing strategies, text analysis, plot diagram is a new one that they have, evidence and claims, all sorts of different items, character traits, making inferences. So we can see here a little preview. So I'm going to click Get Activity. Now, in lots of these, when they come from Google Slides, there's two kinds. There's one that's a printable. So it's on an 8.5 by 11. It's made to be printed if you'd like. So it gives you great printed materials. And then there's also a workbook, which is a digital. So you can put it into Google Classroom and students can then digitally manipulate it. So here it always starts with a teacher instruction sheet, which you would delete before you sent it off to Google Classroom. Here, so it starts with a notice and wonder, a lovely sentence or a lovely lesson set, making inferences. The author said, I already know, I can infer, so an inference frame. Here we have the reading, and it asks us to mark up the text. It gives us some ways to do that. So I love that it's got all of these built-in instructional strategies, place to take notes, key vocabulary, given me the terms. I can add more, and it prompts me to use it in a sentence and to find an image. Again, this is all editable. This is an answer and explain. So here are the multiple choice questions that I generated. And so it wants me to pick the answer, but also explain why. So again, deep critical thinking, short answers, the reflect and discuss. And this is formatted into a group activity. And so students would get together and each student would share their own response. So there's so many ways to use this. Again, you can delete pages, you can delete items, you can edit anything, but these items in Diffit, in this great Diffit library, when we click Get Student Activities, they are packed with all sorts of great templates that just go on, problems and solutions, pros and cons. Again, there's the hexagonal thinking. There's over 50 different thinking templates. And that is, again, beyond the differentiation, beyond the quiz questions that we can generate, so many ways to produce great materials in Diffit. Call an instructional coach if you are interested in some help to get started.